So a history lesson here on what's happened in the 5 years, I'm
Long
assuming.
though Sambrek's dominion over northeastern Storm has endured, recent days have seen the Blight wrest ever more land from her grasp. For which reason she has continued to wage war on her rival across the strait, hoping to claim less blackened pastures. But Odin would sooner pawn his sword than Waloed relinquish Ash. And the Empire pays dearly for every blade of grass bent beneath Sambrequois boots. Little wonder then that Sylvester set his sights on the crystalline dominion, an altogether easier target, possessed of no less ether. It was 5 years ago, while you were busying yourself with the destruction of Drake's head, that the Empire made its move, subjugating its theretofore neutral neighbor. A nation which could legitimately claim to be the center of the world. Certainly, there is no better place to stage an army. From there, the Holy Empire's reach spans the Twins. The non-aggression treaty was the only thing keeping them in check. But if they truly broke the pact without provocation,
Of course, they
it is
did.
only a matter of time before others reply in kind. The Holy Empire, the Dalmekian Republic, the Kingdom of Waloed, and of course, our
Waloed.
friends in Yaran. Who will be left standing, I wonder, when the last drop of blood is spilled?
The four nations. Alright, so they gave us a little history lesson on what happened
You were born
after
in Twinside.
we were attacking the crystal.
Do you not fear for your home?
Oh, dark clouds are wont to gather over the Dominion. Yet in spite of it all, she has ever endured. And when the storm has passed, I am confident she will remain.
So there used to be five, right? And then the Holy Empire attacked the guys in the center where that they had that pact with, and then they took their land. So now there's only four. The Hideaway, established under the leadership of Clive Rosfield, who took the title of Cid after his former leader's passing, and Titan's destruction of the old Hideaway. Here, a community of like-minded individuals from across the realm have gathered to build a place where people can live and die on their own terms, like its predecessor. It is built within fallen ruins deep within the deadlands of Central Storm. Decidedly unlike its predecessor, however, is located in the center of a lake, Benamir, across where waters are invading enemies. Across whose waters any invading enemies can easily be spotted long before the arrival. That's good. Clive Rosfield. After Cid fell and his hideaway was reduced from rubble in the hands of Hugo Kupka, Clive took on both his predecessor's name and role, becoming the second Cid the Outlaw, the leader of the re-established resistance. Together with the other survivors and their new recruits, he continues Cid's missions to emancipate bearers and rid the realm of Mother Crystals. Vivian Ninetails, a scholar and strategist who makes her home in the hideaway, analyzing every shred of information that comes in from the wider world in order to divine the dispositions of the realm's armies and those who lead them. She offers their insight to Clive that he might better understand the lay of the land. The moniker Ninetails, of which she herself is fond, was gifted by her fellow scholars in recognition of her ability to speak at length on on almost any subject. Okay,
As to
doesn't
the
make sense to me,
payment for
that
today's
nickname, but
lesson,
okay.
complete a simple errand for me, and we shall consider ourselves even.
Even. Right.
Return this volume to old tomes in the shelves. Tell him it was adequate.
Okay, look at our sword now.
Visit our resident historian.
Our sword looks dope. So she's the new
Here for
historian,
another
not the
of my
old guy.
lectures.
Visit the Crystalline
My
Dominion.
beloved homeland.
The crossroads of Elistea, where one only has to stroll the streets to hear news from every far-flung corner of the realm. Its mother crystal yields more shards than any other, and its land even now remain untouched by the Blight. It is a blessed country indeed. Wow. So that's why they really, really wanted it, because it didn't have any Blight.
Or at least
It wasn't until Sambrek elected to invade and establish a new holy capital upon Twinside's heretofore neutral shores. It pains me to see the land I love so changed, and even more to know that I did not predict it. I knew that the Emperor Silvestri had designs on the Dominion, but to abandon Oriflame, the seat of the Holy Empire since its inception, seemed too audacious a move even for him. So, you know, the Dane was completely right. They went and uprooted themselves. Oriflame is not the capital anymore. If anything, it's probably fully blighted now that the Mother Crystal's gone, probably. And, what's it called? Now their new place is the Twins, apparently. Like their place is now the headquarters for the royal or the empire. Jeez. Ask about coming to the hideaway.
I admit.
When I took up my professor's bonnet and began teaching at the University of Canver, I did not think for a moment that I would one day count Sid the Outlaw among my pupils, but nor did I imagine that my fellow educators would have designs on my life, and we both know how that ended. Has it been a year already? Such is the peril of an overly inquisitive mind, I suppose. One is wont to uncover that which others would go to great lengths to ensure remained hidden. Were it not for you and our mutual friend having come to the rescue, my curiosity would likely have proved fatal. But instead, I was not only saved, but granted a new lease on life, as personal tutor to a band of outlaws, no less.
Reputable fellowship
Than anything in the academic world, I assure you. Ask about Vivian.
one would think.
My role was abundantly clear by now. I offer you and yours the guiding light of knowledge, that of matters military and political, both past and present, that it might illuminate your way ahead. For it is only by understanding what has come before that one might steer one's way towards a brighter future. Your role, meanwhile, is to ensure that I remain furnished with as much information on the state of the realm as your people can muster, in order that I might continue to appraise the dispositions of the great nations and those who rule them. And, of course, to pay attention during my lectures. It would not do to appoint the storied Ninetales as your tutor, only to disregard her expert advice.
Allow me to educate you.
The state of the realm. By speaking to Vivian, the hideaway's map room, Clive can view the state of the realm and learn more about the current goings-on of Valstea, revisit any of the Ninetales' past lessons, or take a deeper look into relationships for those individual in Clive's orbit. A comprehensive grid of important persons and their prospective relationships, an overview of current and past Valstea affairs. Okay.
Here's the latest information I have.
Here you can view the detailed visualizations of character relationships of Final Fantasy XVI and update your progress to the main scenario. Use left 1 and R1 to cycle through pivotal milestones in Clive's adventure. So we have Rosaria Marches, the Night of Flames, Death the Defile. What? It says Death and Defile. Cloaks and Daggers, Takara Norvent, Garuda's Rage, Battle of Belenus Tor, Salvation of the King's Fall, A Duchy Despoiled, The End of Eastpool, Onward to Oriflame, The Drake Decapitated, right? Ultima, an otherworldly being that Clive encountered in the inner sanctum of Drake's head. He addresses Clive as Mythos. Before attempting to merge their consciousness, however, Clive was able to summon the will to resist the creature. Before Joshua returned from the dead to imprison it in a cage of flame, that he sealed away in his own heart. Dominant of Phoenix and former heir to the ducal throne, Joshua was thought to have died in the lands of the second Icon of Fire during the disaster at Phoenix Gate. However, he's very much alive, traveling the realm even now, destroyed and hidden by a heavy cowl and an assumed name, the Lord of Mark Race. He's just so weird. And now we've got Sid the Second. Okay.
Here you are.
Here you can view the detailed overview and current events, past events, Clive's story. Use the bumpers to cycle through. Yes. This one's in 16-bit or 8-bit. Fucking, I like that. It's cool. Okay.
Very good.
Alright. Let us go next. We'll see what we got going on. Speak with Harpocrates in the shelves. Oh, so Harpocrates is still alive. Okay, that's what I was wondering. I was wondering if he had died or not. I hadn't seen him yet. I guess he's over in here, that's why. The shelves. I guess the shelves is just like our library. I guess that makes sense.
Osman Harpocrates.
Now that is a name I have not heard for a long time. So long, in fact, I had half forgotten it was mine. Welcome home, Clive. You were missed, as always.
I believe this belongs to you. Vivian asked me to return it.
On Gods and Men. A heavy leather-bound tome containing the findings of one's Anaximander of Canver, a renowned theologian who spent most of his life chronicling Valstea's diverse religious history. And look, I just noticed. Look at Clive's brand. It's burned off like the others.
Resident scholar devours books faster than young Tet does lemon tarts. Would that I could
Why
do
you
the
got
same.
my bad, Tet?
Alas, I no longer
Catching a
possess the
stray like
necessary
that.
constitution for such indulgence, either in words or tarts. That said, I have continued my search for mention of the creature you encountered at Drake's Head.
The Ultima?
But without access to the great libraries of Oriflamme or the Dominion, I regret that I have been able to find little and less. I am sorry.
Please, don't apologize. I'll send word to our associates. See if they can't furnish you with more books.
I fear it is not more books that I require, but the right ones.
Yeah.
Mayhap we look in the wrong places. There are still libraries to the north.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay.
You are too kind. There are not many in this world who would indulge the whims of a tired old historian.
I'm not too tired to go filching Kubo nuts, though. Always got a pocket for him. Nicks him off the Moogle.
Hush now. We all know there's no such thing as Moogles.
Wait, what? Wait a minute, what the fuck did the man just say? There's no such thing as Moogles.
Aye. Yet they laugh far too little for one so young. The loss of their parents weighs heavy on them, however well they hide it. Titan took much from us that night. From some more than others.
You know what? We also never found, like, we never met Sid's daughter. Remember she was writing him? I wonder if we're going to see that later, too. Like, as a side mission?
They are not quick to heal.
Which is why we must give them all the time they need.
That we must. Just as I must give you the time you need to recuperate. Good day, Clive.
He said,
Good
fuck
day.
off, in the nicest way.
Gav will be back soon. I should get some rest while I can.
Is there something I might assist you with, Clive?
Tet
I
and
still
Crow, those are the two
remember.
kids. So remember the day I first met Tet and Crow, chasing their father, about to hide away one moment, clinging to their mother's cradle in the next. The twins' love for their parents was something to behold, so fierce and pure. When they passed, I feared the void they left in their children's lives would never be filled. I wonder if we could have seen them. I think weren't they the ones that were like, the Moogle, right? They were talking about the Moogle. Maybe that was them? I don't remember. I didn't pay attention to the kids. But maybe these kids were somewhere in the old hideaway. Neither spoke nor smiled for years, hiding themselves away here in the shelves to bury their sorrows in the leaves in their
Thank
tomes.
goodness they did.
For I believe the stories proved a welcome distraction, and over the time their pain faded, and now they laugh and frolic as they once did, if not with more vigor. They remind us that no matter how deep our wounds, we all have the capacity to heal. That's nice. And the happiness lost may be found again. But yeah, also, this guy said Moogles don't exist. There's literally a fucking Moogle right out by the bounty board. Like, can only certain people see Moogles? Like, kids and, you know, Clive, apparently? Clive can even speak Moogle. Ask about the past 5 years.
Difficult, certainly.
When Titan visited his wrath upon us on that dreadful night, we lost much. He robbed us not only of our home, but our loved ones, but that of which Sid fought fiercest to preserve, our hope. Hope that we might never have found again had you not taken his name and become our light in the darkness.
Do not let us hear.
To Benimir and the Invincible, where amongst the ghosts of the fallen our journey can continue. Here in the belly of the Leviathan, untouched by the passing of 1,000 years, does our hope burn brighter than ever, and here may it burn for 1,000 more.
Look around you.
While it is not a far cry from the Imperial Library of Oriflamme, in 5 short years we have amassed more volumes than most men or women might hope to see in their lifetime. No longer are the tales they contain hidden away from all but the privilege. We have liberated them that they will fill the minds of all who hunger for knowledge. There is much more out there, and as long as I draw breath, I shall continue to gather what I can. One day, a chronicle of your own adventures might even grace these shelves, or failing that, the floor. You're the 1,000 tomes.
I don't believe you've read this particular chapter before.
Nice. Extant
Here's
encyclopedia.
a rather fascinating
Hippocrates
excerpt
had a
I've been meaning to show
revelation.
you.
What does that mean? Had a revelation. The founder. Fear and uncertainty. Legend of the Founder, Monster Chronicle. Fear and uncertainty reigned in those days early from sins of Desimex. Not wanting to further incur the wrath of the heavens, the few who survived the fall took to wandering the land, spurning magic and staying to the shadows, and so they lived for decades. One man, however, grew tired of this life, if it could be called that. After bidding his companions farewell, climbed a grassy knoll overlooking the forest of beech and alder. Here he gathered a pile of rubble and used it to build a humble shelter in which he spent the night. The next morning, however, instead of abandoning his work, as was his people's wont, I think that's supposed to be want. He gathered more rocks, adding to the structure until the shelter had become a shack. This he continued for days, weeks, until the shack had become a home. At first, those few wanderers who passed the knoll would shun him, cursing the man under their breath for his hubris. But as his estate grew and one building became two and two became three, the people began to slow their steps, and it was not long before some took to joining him on that knoll, gathering stones, building new lives, new destinies. This they didn't without magics or machines, without boon or blessing. They relied on naught but their hands, their backs, their wills, and each other. And slowly, house gave way to the village, village to a town, and town to a nation. The man would one day die, as all men do, but those who remained continued his legacy, expanded upon it, and though his name was eventually forgotten, his spirit lives on to this day in the hearts of all Rosarians. Legend of the Founder, Moss the Chronicler. So this is the founder of Rosaria, apparently. What the fuck? International pact made by the dawn of present era, which matters treated as bearers, established in wide realm currency, were laid out, and form the basis of much of our state of society as it stands today, including the branding of bearers and the status of non-persons. It also put in place a universal calendar, marking a symbolic fresh start for mankind, albeit one with put magic users at a crippling disadvantage.
What subject shall we consider today? The door to the shelves shall ever be open.
Alright, so now we have like two lore stuff now. We have, you know, the Chronicler over here, and then we have Ninetails, so being Ninetails. This girl's still alive. We saw her with a
and you're already
Gav.
off solving everyone's problems. It looks good, Clive. Goes well with the scowl.
I'd had that brand for so long. I'd forgotten what life was like without it. What it was like to be
Oh, she has
myself.
long hair. I thought she had short hair. Look at it. It's a
And it's
really
all
narrow
thanks to you,
ponytail.
Talia.
The scalpel did most of the work. Ah, before I forget, a rider was here with a letter from Gav. Otto left it on your desk.
Not a stolus. All right, I'll have a look.
And then you get some rest.
So she removed our branding. So I wonder if people like still
Gather
know
for
we're
worthy
branded,
letter.
or like if they just think we have some sort of like burn mark or battle mark, right? Like I wonder if people still treat us like shit, or they just don't know. Oh shit, Jill's here.
Otto was here earlier with a letter from Gav. He left it on your desk.
Reading table. The reading table. Reports, letters, and other important missives addressed to Clive are addressed in the reading table in his chambers. New messages are always arriving, so make it a point to check the reading desk upon entering the hideaway. For sure. The Republic's play. The Republican army marches on the Empire at Twinside, and the men of the Rock have been summoned to the front. Something big is brewing, I reckon. I'll see you're done. I'll see you're done to wear upon my return, Gav. Is that his like signature on the bottom? Cool. Oh, wait a minute, look. Yeah, his eye. Yeah, his eye's fucked.
What does Gav have to say?
I'm liking the development we're getting early. Like, they're not leaving this to the end of the game, right? They're not leaving the Joshua plot point to the end. They're not leaving the hideaway getting massacred and you have to start over to the end of the game. Like, I like that. I like that the whole game is getting big plot points so far, man.
The Republican army is on the march, leaving Randalar in Hugo Kupka's charge. With him and his men occupied with the defense of the capital, they're less likely to trouble us.
That's good.
News, then.
It's more than that. This is our chance.
To fight
The one
Kupka
we've
without
been
the
waiting
army?
for.
Yeah, I think he's gonna try to attack Kupka
But look
since he
how
doesn't have
far
the
we've
whole
come.
Empire's army
All
with
that we
him.
have here, our friends, the hideaway, are they not cause for joy?
They are, but he
5 years.
fucked us 5 years ago.
5 long years. If I could only command this power I've been granted, we might have achieved so much more. But each time I reach for it, it's like something is holding me back.
So he can't like do Ifrit at will.
Summoning an icon exacts a price not easily paid. Your body knows this only too well. It's merely trying to save you from yourself.
Ah.
And every burden I cannot bear falls to you.
So she has to do all the dominant fights.
Question everything I thought I knew, but one thing has become abundantly clear: the crystals take more than they give.
So Sid was right.
In exchange for momentary comfort, we must endure a lifetime of pain, war after war, loss upon loss. And now they rob us of our very homes, leaving naught but dust and ash. But you're trying to change that. We're trying to change that. And to me, that's no burden.
I know, but...
Try not to forget. We're only here because Joshua gave us a second chance.
Oh, so they know.
It would be a pity to waste such a precious gift.
He did. He was there. It wasn't an illusion. I heard him call out to Ultima.
Okay, so they know that Joshua's out there, but
If
why isn't
is still
Joshua
alive,
like...
he'll be looking for that thing.
Yeah, why isn't Joshua like with his brother, like helping him out or telling
Do
him
you
like
think
I'm
he will ever
alive?
come
What's
back?
going on with that? Is he
I
important?
know he will.
Is like
We
Ultima
must be ready when he does.
being away from Clive too important? What does Ultima ultimately want, right?
To a world without mother crystals. To Sid.
Oh. Alright. So here we go, the next stretch of the story. Oh, here we go, Joshua. Meanwhile, he has old Rosalithian clothes on. Or Rosarian clothes, sorry. The Northern Territories.
And so the North is lost.
It's been
I knew that
afflicted with the
blight spread
blight.
more swiftly, Your Grace. But this is far, far worse than any could have imagined.
So the North, is the North where the Royal Empire used to be? Or the Holy Empire? A bitterly cold corner of Storm's most northern reaches, the loose collection of nations that sprang up around the region's erstwhile Mother Crystal Drake's Eye were united and pacified by Archduke Elwyn Rosfield of Rosaria in year 854. However, in the years following Rosaria's annexation by the Empire, the combination of both the Blight's inexorable advance and the Sambrecht's lack of interest in the territories has only worked to quicken the area's destabilization. No, okay, so this is Rosarian territory. Joshua Resfield. Dominant of the Phoenix and former heir to the ducal throne, Joshua is thought to have died in the hands of the second Icon of Fire during the disaster at Phoenix Gate. However, he somehow survived. Thank you. Somehow. What the fuck happened? Appearing before his brother once more in the 13 years later in the inner sanctum of Drink's Head, pause, and saving Clive from Ultima's advances by calling upon the power of the Phoenix to seal the being within himself. Attendant to Joshua. Companion and protector of Joshua Rosfield, dominant of the Phoenix. Wait, what? Oh no. Joshua's still dominant of the Phoenix. Okay, I thought she was also one. I was like, what? As loyal as she is dangerous, her blade is ever at the ready of any of those who might mean her master ill, and her tonics ever at hand to heal the sickly prince's hurts. Joshua addresses her by the name Jote, or Jote, but it is unclear whether it is her true name or just another pseudonym. I wonder who this bitch is, right?
It is only a matter of time before the twins are no more. The world marches ever closer to its end, and here we chase shadows. Tell me, brother, are our efforts in vain?
Well, he's not there, so he can't answer you. Way to go. What does Joshua's journey consist of? You know, we just have no idea. We don't know what the fuck's going on with him, what his goal is. He knows about Ultima, so I'm assuming it's as important, if not more important, than Clive's.
Apologies, I didn't mean to intrude.
Not at all. We were just discussing strategy.
Speak freely, Otto.
It's Martha, from the inn. She's gone missing.
What?
Anyway.
Nah, she's a sweetheart. We need to get her ass.
Finished.
Very well.
Why'd they make it sound like the way he interrupted or like excused himself, the Gathering Storm? He made it sound like they were like kissing or something when he walked in. Or like Clive was putting on the fucking moves on her or something. He's like, oh, I didn't mean to, apologize, I wonder when we're gonna get more memories, bro. I'm interested. I like this. I love that type of stuff. I love having like a little collection in the game or something. Like, I fucking love that stuff. Like having a little wall of memorabilia. I love collecting stuff myself. My wall behind me, you know, it's all some of my favorite video games, a collector's edition and stuff like that. So like, I love having that in my favorite games too. And so far, this is one of my favorite games of 2023 for sure. But just, it's a good game so far. I'm liking it. The plot is awesome for sure. The writing is, you know, second to none at this point. So let's go ahead and... I'm not saying it's like the best plot, but I'm just saying like it's a really fucking good plot. Like this is intriguing me. It's making me want to keep going with the game. I've been playing for 2 hours now, 2.5 hours. I feel like I've been playing for like an hour at most. Like this is great. I love when a game makes you feel like this.
What do we know, Otto?
Some lads from the Imperial garrison in Rosaria started a fight over at Martha's Rest. Blood was spilled. Bones were broken. The usual. But somewhere in the middle of it, Martha vanished without a word to anyone. And that ain't like her, Clive. Something's not right.
You think this was planned?
Of course it bloody was. Ever since Eastpool, the Empire's been tightening its grip around the Duchy's balls. They've strung up everyone who's ever set eyes on a runaway, claiming they're traitors to the Holy Throne, conspiring to restore the House of Rosfield to power.
And is that so wrong?
The bastards have turned their attentions to the pallbearers meek enough to stay put. Naturally, old Martha could see the way the wind was blowing, complained that it was getting harder and harder to take bearers in.
Makes sense.
And now she's missing. She's fallen into the hands of the Empire. We could be next.
Couple of curse breakers are already on their way to the inn. They should speed up the search. But if this is as bad as I think it is, you might end up having to save their asses and all.
I mean,
Don't
yeah.
worry, Otto. I'll make sure everyone gets home safe.
Alright. So I'm wondering if there's like a side quest guy kind of like there was, you know, because I don't see him as of yet, right? But I wonder if there's like, you know, the Hideaway had a guy later on where like, yeah, these are all the side quests. Make sure to check it often so you can see all of the realm side quests. And right now I don't really see a guy like that. So I'm wondering if he's gonna pop up later.
Have we any more knuckle pies?
Knuckle pies? Yeah, I got one right here, bitch. A knuckle sandwich too. You want some? Alright, let's go ahead and accept this side quest, actually. And then after that, we'll go ahead and see where the side quest takes us. And then after the side quest, we'll go ahead and see what's going on with Sweetheart Martha. Let's see what we got here.
Welcome back, Sid.
The boat guy.
Damn blighted bilge.
is...
Aside from the holes in my hull?
The lake water doesn't agree with it, then?
That's one way of putting it. And unless you got some grand scheme to suck the black from the lake like we do in the atrium...
Pause?
That slurry will keep eating away at the timber like young Tech does our lemon tarts.
Bro, what is... Yo, everyone throwing fucking shade at Tet and tarts, bro. Poor Tet, my bad, Tet.
Pitch might stave off the rock for a moon or so. Assuming we had any pitch, which we don't. Not any blood.
So the blighted water is affecting the
Doubt
ship.
old tub's got more than a dozen runs left in him.
Of course, Oboler. Your skiff is our only means of reaching the mainland.
Well, I'm glad someone round here sees it that way. To make pitch, you need pitch trees. But in case you haven't noticed, live trees are one of the 1,000 things sorely lacking in the Deadlands.
So why are we not growing it in our garden?
I'm
If
not
it's that
so
important.
unkind as to ask you to fell a faraway forest and lug the logs back here to the mere, which is why we'll be needing a suitable alternative.
Yeah, growing
And
it here.
Just so happens, I once heard the thorny pitchers of Curltail Falls cover themselves in a sticky wax to trap birds and beetles and...
Sounds easier than felling a faraway forest.
Okay, so we gotta get him this, like, wax. That, like, acts as, like, a repellent, I guess. Or absorbs whatever we need to absorbing for. Slay thorny thistles at Criterion Falls. Alright, let's do that.